What's up? What's up? Hello orchid fans, what's up? Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new, thank you so much for joining me today. I thought I'm gonna do an update on my haul that I did back in March of 2021. So I bought these 4 orchids on 3rd of March 2021 and it's now end of July. So it's been 5 months since I got these orchids into my collection, and we did a repot all together, and we had a look at these orchids previously as well, but I thought I'll just pull them all together and just have a look at these as a haul. You will, if you've been watching my videos, you will know that basically a few of these. So this one is a waterculture project which has got a separate separate playlist. So we've been looking at this regularly. These guys here are my flask project. So again, there is videos about it separately. But then this guy here was kind of left out, and we never look at this orchid. So I thought, yeah, if I do like a 5-month update, we can have a look at how these orchids progressed in the last 5 months and what are the plans for them in the future. So let me start with these Masdevallias. So this is Masdevallia paiveana, and if I still got the original clips of unboxings and repots, I will try and kind of insert the shorts of those videos so you can kind of see what we had. But this little guy, it came in pretty healthy, and yeah, as you can see, it's basically a climbing Masdevallia because it's one plant and it's had like quite a long rhizome here, and then it's kind of keep climbing up all the time. The roots are looking pretty good here at the front. It's grown loads of new growths, and it's still doing it. You can see one new growth here and then another growth right there at the back, but it also dropped a lot of growths as well. So if you look at here, you can see some of the roots, so they're looking pretty good. What I can also say is that so this is what it came with. You know, the growth was that tall, and you can see those new growths that it's pushing out. They are a lot shorter than this one. So I don't think this orchid is too happy. You know, if it was as happy as it came in, it would push out taller growths. So it hasn't reached the potential yet, I guess. The leaves, you can see, they are getting discolored. And even, you know, even the growths that it pushed out for me in the last 5 months, even those, some of them have dropped already as well. So it pushes those growths and it drops them quite quickly. So there is something is up with this orchid. It's not totally happy. Masdevallias are generally cooler growers, and oh, I actually just saw another new growth right here. Let me see. Do you see this just against my finger? That's another new growth. So it's a super vigorous orchid. You know, it keeps pushing those new growths constantly. And yeah, it's a cooler grower, and it grows on my very bottom shelf, and it is the coolest spot I can give it. But I don't think it's totally happy. But it is growing really well as well. You can see these big flesh roots. And so if I move to the next one, so this one, so this is my waterculture Masdevallia, and it's Masdevallia rolfeana. You can see the roots on here are very, very thin and long. You see, like it's completely different from those big fleshy roots. So obviously, you know, different species of Masdevallia, and already, you know, I can see the differences between the two. So this guy, there's actually 2 plants in here. Again, new growths are coming out like nobody's business. There is a new growth right here as well. And honestly, if I start looking, I will probably find more. There is those new roots that you can see at the top. You can see they all have green tips as well. so they are actively growing. I don't keep it in a lot of water. You can see the water only reaches the bottom of the pot, but there is a root here that's grown right into the water, and it's nice and happy. It's white, it's got a growing tip, so it's still growing. So again, you know, this is the older growth, and it is a lot taller than the other ones. You can see they are getting discolorations, and those new growths are a lot smaller. Also, the fact that these roots are growing on the top, and you can see they're kind of going upwards, they aren't going down. So I think that maybe they don't really like those glass beads. So I don't know if they're maybe too heavy, or if they just don't like something about them. I try not to fertilize neither of these too much, especially this one. It grows in water culture. You know, all these nutrients in the water, they're readily available to the plant, so they literally take up all the nutrients that are in the water, because, you know, there is no bark or sphagnum moss, so nothing is soaking up any of the nutrients. So I either keep my Masdevallias in plain water, so I would maybe fertilize them for, you know, just water them, flush water through the pot with the fertilizer, and then I would top it up with just normal plain water. Yeah, I'm thinking to maybe move this into leca. I'm not sure yet, but I like the glass beads because, you know, they will also lower the temperature down a little bit. You know, the glass beads will be slightly cooler than bark, and given that Masdevallias are cooler growers, I thought this would actually give it a slightly cooler environment for the roots. And also the fact that it's got water here and it's in a glass, you know, it would lower the temperature slightly. And I mean, the roots that are down in here, they do seem pretty good. But yeah, the fact that, you know, those new roots are kind of going upwards, that seems a bit odd to me. So stay tuned, we'll see if we change the setup on this or not. And then my next one, so this is my Stanhopea oculata seedlings. So there is the tag. I basically deflasked them 5 months ago, and I put them in a community pot. There were loads of seedlings before, and then slowly but surely they all kind of withered off, and I had 3 left. So those 3, I moved them into leca, and they seem to be doing okay. This one doesn't look too good, but it does have a new growth right there, and it is still nice and healthy. And then this growth here, it's got 2 new growths right there. Again, the leaf is all, you know, dried up, but those new growths are looking pretty good. And if we move towards this one, so this one, it's got, let me see. So it's got 1 growth here, and you know, this leaf is now also becoming quite wide now compared to the others. So I think it's now kind of starting to look more like a Stanhopea. But yeah, it's got at least 1 new growth I can see. I think there's actually 2 in there. So yeah, I mean, the leaves did dry up, but apart from that, they look pretty good. So yeah, I'll just keep my eye on them and see if I could save at least 1 and grow that on. You know, that would be a huge accomplishment, because this is my first ever flask and growing orchids from little seedlings. And then my last one, so this is my Maxillaria sophronitis. So it's another species orchid, all 4 are species, by the way. And when I got it, it had actually quite a lot of pseudobulbs, and I found them by basically digging them out of the media. So you can imagine they were all rotten. And when I cut them all away, the whole root system went with that part. So I basically had a rootless plant with this 1 pseudobulb. I can't remember if it had this new growth starting or not at that point. But as I say, I will try and insert the clips if I can find any, and we can see it on there. But This now has matured. It is a climber. You can see it's climbing up, but the roots are still managing to get into the media, which is good. So yeah, it's got a nice pseudobulb, which is looking good. And a few days ago, I noticed that there is a new growth right there at the base of this old pseudobulb. So you can see it right there. And I think, you know, because I cut the older part away, it just basically pushed out another direction of growth, which is good. So here it is. It's very nice. I hope it keeps developing. I only noticed it a couple days ago, so I hope that as I was watering it previously, I didn't rot it, but it does look nice and green, so I think it's okay. And then this new growth, it's pushing out this tiny bump at the base. So that's going to be another new growth. And I also noticed that at the apex of this leaf, there is something growing in there, which I think is going to be a new growth. I can't believe it would be a flower spike, but I'll keep you guys updated. So this piece here, it seems very nice and happy, you know. Those roots are pushing out, and you know, I was gonna peel away this sheath here, and as I started peeling it off, I noticed this new growth, which obviously made me really happy. But then I stopped peeling it off because Maxillarias usually grow their root systems in these kind of, you know, connections along the rhizome and in those sheaths. So I thought, yeah, if it is actually pushing the roots down inside, I don't want to be just peeling it all off, because that would probably give quite a lot of stress to the roots. It would, you know, expose them to a completely different environment. So I thought I'll leave it like that. It looks really happy. This new growth is so cute. It's a very small orchid, which I really like. You know, I really like miniature orchids. That was my haul from 5 months ago. I got it from Writhlington School Orchid Project, which is a UK project where basically school kids are looking after orchids. And I just think it's such a nice idea and such a good way of getting, you know, young people into orchid growing and into just plant growing overall. So yeah, all the orchids seem very vigorous, and they're growing pretty well. So that was my update. And as I say, I'll keep you guys updated. I will soon do my monthly orchid update, and I usually go through quite a few orchids in my collection during that update, just to kind of show you what my orchids are up to. And you know, these are obviously part of it as well. So if something cool happens, if something exciting happens, I'll let you know, and I'll keep you guys updated. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet for more orchid videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!